Welcome back here with us on Mirror Now. This is Urban Debate and I'm Hina Gambhir. One of the most prestigious universities in India, JNU, has kicked up a storm with its circular to students. The university has organized a counseling session to educate students on the issue of sexual harassment. However, the real problem lies in the tone that has been set for discussion by the university's internal complaints committee, thereby once again exposing a regressive mindset that puts the entire onus of safety on women themselves. The university circular says girls are supposed to know how to draw a tangible line between them and their friends to avoid incidents of sexual harassment. Rightly so. Now, this statement has come under severe criticism from all quarters of society. The big question that we are asking on Mirror Now is the responsibility of the issue of women's safety only on women? Why are all the teachings only for girls and not for boys? A question that has been asked by the NCW Chief Rekha Sharma as well. And should university like JNU be imparting such sexist and misogynistic ideas? That's our big debate this evening on Urban Debate, and we will be going across to our guests who will be joining us this evening. Madhurima Kundu, Secretary ISA, Kasturi Shankar, actress as well as activist, Professor Gobardhan Das, who is Professor Molecular Medicine at Jawaharlal Nehru University, and also Amit Deshpande, male rights activist. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us here on Mirror Now. Madhurima Kundu, I want to first understand from you, we are seeing outrage in the university as well. I believe there is a protest that's taking place as well against the circular that was issued by JNU earlier.
Yes, the protest couldn't be held today, but we will have it in the coming days. The circular, the reason for the outrage in JNU is that ICC is actually conducting orientation or counseling session to teach women how not to get harassed. It's on the same lines as saying that women should not wear short clothes, because by wearing short clothes, women are calling themselves to be raped, or women should not do this and do that. The onus of getting sexually harassed is being put on women, and this for us is not surprising, because if we see the trajectory of the ICC since Mamidala Jagdish Kumar came into JNU, the first thing which he did was to dismantle GS-CASH, the Gender Sensitization Cell Against Sexual Harassment, which had students elected to it, faculty members elected to it. It saw each cases, maintained anonymity, and based on principles of gender justice, it meted out decisions. Since the coming of ICC, we have seen in multiple cases, and a lot of cases have got a lot of media attention, like Atul Jari. He is from one of the science schools, and 7 to 9 women students have come up and complained against Atul Jari. He is close to the VC, and he has been given a complete clean chit. Atul Jari still roams around in the campus free, while the women students are still in fear of the trauma of being harassed. Now we see, and in a recent, just a month, around a month ago, ICC came up with a report on a case of a sexual harassment lodged by a women student. In the report, it is recommending the women student to take counseling classes regarding gender discrimination, sexual harassment. And now we are seeing the ICC is actually conducting these counseling sessions, whereby it will teach women how not to get harassed, how not to get raped, and all this. So it's not a surprise to us, and this is the trajectory JNU is falling in line. And given Mamidala Jagdish Kumar, who is known to be a RSS person, this is what the RSS and Sangh Parivar has been propagating across the country. Women get harassed and raped.
Okay.
Because of what we do.
Professor Gobardhan Das, will you like to respond? Because NCW chief also today came out and said that why all teachings only for girls?
Good evening, everybody. So see, this is the students are our children. It is our interest, for the best of all, to keep all our children safe. And in this case, what only for the counseling for the girls. This is not the truth. This counseling for boys and girls, everybody. And this is the I understand the line, the point number 3, where it says the girls supposed to know how to draw a tangible line. In bracket, this is between them and their male friends to avoid such harassments. I understand. This evening, I called the ICC chairperson, Professor, what's her name? I called the ICC chairperson. She explained me. She said, this is line has been written just often the girls are the victims, and girls oftentimes what they do not speak out, and so therefore just to educate them, this is written. It's not that is only for the girls or only for the girls. So basically just to to make them educated where the line is crossing. So nothing more than that. So basically somebody likes maybe
But sir, how will you really educate the people on the issue of sexual harassment if you're going with a thought that boys generally cross the thin line? In brackets it mentions sometimes advertently, sometimes inadvertently. So you're giving them a benefit of doubt already. Between friendly banter and sexual harassment. For girls, the circular says girls supposed to know how to draw a tangible line. In bracket, it mentions between them and their male friends to avoid any such harassments.
So, ma'am, I'm
If
not
this is
trying to
going to
take.
be the thought, I
No,
mean,
I'm not trying
how
to.
can you even
I'm not trying to take any side or
No, I'm
anything,
just
but
asking you, sir,
yeah.
as a
See, basically,
professor.
see, this is
You
once
told us
again.
what the ICC chief told you, but as a professor, do you think this is incorrect? If we will
See,
continue to say boys will be boys, let girls be more careful, will the society ever change? Will this mindset ever change, sir? As
see,
a
this is
professor, I'm
this,
asking you.
in JNU. We are the cosmopolitan, and then we all educate. We all know what is good, what is bad. So, but that it is always good to have some kind of education. Always had to some kind of a talk, and therefore the university set up a ICC, and ICC there is always there to help. And at least if there is some guidelines, although this is the girls matter, there are also some kind of guidelines, or this, if there is a help. So that is what the ICC set up. Is not that kind of a,
Okay.
so it's not that kind of they are trying to not trying to solve the problem, isn't it? So
Okay. Kasturi Shankar, where do you stand on this issue? License to men, line for women?
Absolutely flippant statement from JNU comes as a complete shock to me that an institution that has always been regarded as a progressive and very liberal place to be in, and now they come up with this. I don't know how many years of regression has finally been exposed in this. I think the misogyny existed for a long time, and today it's become a talking point. I get what Professor Govardhan Das is trying to do, and I understand his situation, but I don't have to mince words. I'm going to say this very irresponsible, number one. Number two, this is a complete and direct dilution of ICC rules, ICC regulations. When you take an internal committee and you completely throw the onus on the victims. You just say, okay, if you bring a complaint to us, we're going to say, what did you do? So basically, you're saying, don't bring any complaints to us. This is mafia-giri from the JNU ICC. Is really that's what it is. It's diluting the regulations, and it's trying to silence people who speak up, as it is in India. As a lawyer and as a woman, I have faced this so many times. I have come across women um, absolutely afraid, absolutely terrified to come out and speak up about the violence, about the crimes perpetrated against them. And when you go to an institution like JNU, which you expect will expand your horizons, and you end up with this where they are actually giving you a gag order saying, you need to know where to draw the line. Excuse me, institutions need to know where to draw the line between being responsible and between being supervisory. You need to know, JNU needs to know where to draw the line between giving students freedom, not intruding on their freedom of society, and being a complete washing their hands off complete responsibility. I mean, they need to know that. And the speaker before me from ISA, she was expressing that this is all RSS fuel. I don't belong to any party as a woman. My perception is different. I thought JNU, after the JNU protest 2 years ago, I thought that was completely against the BJP government at that time. So I don't see an RSS connection. I just see misogyny is across all party lines. Madam, I'm telling you also, misogyny cuts across all party lines. It's not RSS, it's not Congress, it's not Muslim League. It is misogyny that's deep rooted in the Indian society. And it's very unfortunate that a premier educational institution will actually word their sentence that way. Professor Gobadan says that's not what they meant. You know what? You're not in a position to say, hey, that's not what we meant. You're a university. You're supposed to tell people what they should say, what they should do. But this is what's happening. But Hina, there is a small issue here. We have the other side of the coin, which is if you give the university responsibility, now if you say no, the institution is responsible for the safety of its inmates, for the safety of its students, and it's responsible for teaching the boys what to do, then suddenly they will come up with draconian laws. They will say you can't do this, you can't step out after 6, a laundry list of rules which will be very draconian in nature, again directed at girls only, and saying this is for your own safety, this is for your own security. If you want us to be responsible,
that is
we will do this.
precisely the reason why we picked up this particular issue today, because the idea here is to change the mindset. I mean, boys will be boys. That has been one example that has been used a million times in last so many years, and it hasn't really changed. In fact, this time also in this circular, it very clearly mentions, and I want Amit Deshpande to come into the discussion on this. The circular says, I'm repeating here for our viewers and for you, boys generally cross the line, the thin line between friendly banter and sexual harassment. And here there's a benefit of doubt that comes in.
Disgusting.
Sometimes advertently, sometimes inadvertently. This is what the circular mentions. Amit Deshpande, why all teachings only for girls? At least from an educational institute,
hi.
we can expect equality when it comes to teaching. Don't you think?
Okay, so I would just like to take a background about sexual harassment in India. I mean, probably a lot of our panelists know about it, but there was an Economics Times Sinovate survey about sexual harassment in India in the corporate world. And it found that in the higher echelons of the corporate world, a lot of men face sexual harassment from women bosses. Okay, it is more about power rather than gender is what we talk about, rape also, and also about sexual harassment. So that has come across in the survey. So firstly, I would like to see sexual harassment from a power position rather than a position of gender. That is where I come from. Secondly, when we talk about this boys will be boys part, we also have believe all women. Okay, that has been ingrained into our psyche now in the mainstream media. It is being drilled into young boys also believe all women. And I find it equally bad, absurd, as much as boys will be boys is absurd. We never talk about believe all women kind of a situation. Here, as far as I know, the circular says that women have to be, careful, or whatever the intangible results of boys will be inadvertently, they cross the line. Okay, I would want to point out towards certain things. Now we have a law wherein we have seen cases where a man sending two messages, one hi and second hi, a woman, that has converted into a molestation case against him. We live in that kind of a world. And here we are talking about if a circular comes out and says that women have to take care. Okay, why do we infantilize women so much about taking care? Or if somebody tells them, okay, you have to take care, why is it such a big fuss? Why is it such a huge crime? Okay, women are not alone responsible for their dignity, for their protection given. But then don't we go around and teach men what they should do, how they should behave? I see this in that purview. Okay, the messaging could have been better. It needs to be upgraded to what times we are living in.
It is only about messaging, Amit Deshpande. It is only about messaging. I'm not doubting the data that you're giving to us. I'm not doubting the data that you're talking about. It's not about, men getting harassed or women getting harassed. My simple question this evening is that why have a separate statement for girls? If the issue here is that, it very clearly mentions, by the way, why is the counseling session required? The circular says it will make students aware about what consists of sexual harassment. So why do you have a specific direction for girls and a specific direction for boys? I haven't put it. The ICC has put it, and that's why I'm asking this question. Why a license to men and a line for women? I'm not doubting the data that you're giving me.
Hina, it's clearly saying
the whole point over here is because we see these crimes, these activities in terms of gender rather than the position of power.
To Amit,
there are so many
Kasturi,
women.
Then Madhurima. Yeah.
Yeah. See, there are two clauses which
One second,
I find
Kasturi, 1 second. Let him finish his point. Amit, yes.
Yeah. So we have to look out over here from a point of view about the sexual harassment being a power game rather than it being gender game. And when will we, as gender equality activists, come out of this notion about, okay, the power flows only in one direction. Okay. When we go and teach boys, when we think that good touch, bad touch, all those things are to be taught to only one gender, and one gender has to become the protector for the other gender all the while, aren't we violating our own principles about equality in terms of genders? As I said, the messaging could be questioned over here. But then the whole notion that, this is against women, I don't see this to be
you are also
against
saying the
women
messaging could have been better. Kasturi, then Madhurima. Got your point, Amit. Kasturi, yeah.
I have to tell two things. First of all, there are two specific clauses. When you take them together, it's very clear. There is one statement which says boys will cross the line, and then there's another statement which says women have to draw the line. Boys will do it knowingly or unknowingly, advertently or inadvertently, and then, the women have to draw the line. They need to know when to complain and when not to complain. Basically, what they're saying is, take things lightly, let them go, don't complain, don't speak up. That's what I'm hearing. That's the messaging I'm hearing, and that's a very, that's terrible. And Mr. Deshpande, when you say things like, let me finish. Mr. Deshpande, when you said things like, we have this message that one sex has to be the protector, and then that conflicts with this. Excuse me, when exactly did you get the message that one sex is the protector? In this land where Ma Durga is the destroyer of all evil, and where the mother of the family is the family caretaker de facto in many, many families around the country. Where are you getting this message? That itself is so patriarchal. Thank you for your patriarchal
Amit, one second. Madhurima wants to come in first. Amit, 1 second. Amit, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Amit, 1 second. Let Madhurima respond first. Kasturi, you've made your point. Let Madhurima respond first. Yes.
See, here I want to mention a brief history about GSCASH, the Gender Sensitization Cell Against Sexual Harassment. It had come up after a long fight and struggle and movement from the JNU students community who wanted a body which is elected by the students, by the faculty, by the staff on the principles of gender justice and sees cases. It had no intervention whatsoever from the administration, and that is what set GSCASH apart from ICC. ICC members are appointed by the VC. It has a direct intervention by the JNU administration, and there is a power play here, where the JNU administration finally gets to decide which is sexual harassment and which is not sexual harassment. So the JNU, what the JNU students community had for years fought and got, the recent VC which we have, which is not going since a long time despite his tenure being over, besides that, this VC dismantled GS Cash. So right now we are demanding that our GS Cash be reinstated, the ICC goes away, and herein another point, responding just a minute more, responding to what the other speaker said, GS Cash had come a long way in understanding that in going beyond the male and female debate and victims. The GS Cash had said that victims can belong to people of different sexual orientations, of different sexuality, and the perpetrator can also be from different sexual orientations and sexualities. The ICC had taken this debate in JNU, this progressive GS Cash, the progressive culture of gender sensitization years back, where it does not recognize where it does not recognize power play, definitely where it does not recognize that no means no, and where it does not recognize the existence of a LGBTQ community in the campus, in our society. It has taken it years back by this notice. The wordings of the notice is it's misogynistic, it is anti-LGBTQ community, it's anti whatever the JNU, the progressive students community has stood for years on, and this is and the GS Cash had answered to all the questions being raised here.
Can I chip in for 10 seconds?
Okay, two important points you've raised.
Yeah.
Professor Das, I know you want to respond, but Amit was waiting patiently. 10 seconds to Amit, then I'm coming straight across to you. 10 seconds only, Amit, because you wanted to make a point earlier.
Yeah, when it is being told that who said men are the protectors. Okay, there are so many other examples, but I would like to talk about the sexual harassment bill itself. We as men's rights activists, we were asking that sexual harassment bill in this country needs to be made gender neutral. But feminists opposed it. It is gender neutral in 88 countries, including Pakistan. But in India, it is not allowed. It is only considered that one gender is always the victim and one gender is always the perpetrator. So that is where the problem comes from.
This is not true. This is not true.
Okay.
The POCSO
other
Act
part,
is
when we have spoken about the misuse of sexual harassment law, when we put it in front of the parliamentary committees, at that time, we were talking about the possibility of misuse of sexual harassment law, just like any other law that that is being misused. Because of our efforts, a penalty has been introduced for false sexual harassment, but it is only 500 rupees. For 500 rupees, you can ruin a man's livelihood, career. And this has been happening where...
Well, that's another issue that you're talking about, an important one as well, Amit Deshpande. But today, what we are focusing on is this mindset. Today, what we are focusing on is this mindset. Professor Gobardhan Das, now, NCW chairperson Rekha Sharma has also said that it is time to teach harassers, not the victims. She has called this particular circular a misogynist circular, and she has demanded a withdrawal.
Okay, let me tell you, this evening I talked to the ICC chairperson. I understand the wordings could have been a little better, and she said that this number 3 point, they are modifying it and in due course. So basically, although they didn't directly say the wording could have been a little better. But one thing I would like to assure you all, in JNU, we are in family. So all our children, all our students, our children. So basically, it is our interest to save them, our interest to protect them. So that is what...
Sorry, sir, we are not your children. We are adults who understand what constitutes sexual harassment. And we have seen how Atul Johri was acquitted by the ICC. We have seen it. JNU has an example of how one of your colleagues was acquitted.
I really cannot comment on that, but definitely in my my opinion, I said. So this is you are adults, of course you are, but all our students are our children. So it is our interest to protect you guys.
No, thank you. We don't need your protection. We have
But
seen
one
what
thing
you
you're
have done with
confirming
Atul
for us,
Jari.
Professor Govardhan Das, Professor Govardhan Das, but one thing you are confirming for our viewers that the circular is likely to be withdrawn. Is that what you are telling us? That's what the ICC chief has told you?
I did not say it's going to be withdrawn, but certainly what ICC
If the wordings are
chairperson
going
said,
to be changed, then definitely this one
wording
will be
is
taken back.
they are going to change. Yes, they're going to modify. That's what she told me this evening.
Okay. Okay. Now, Kasturi Shankar, you've heard all the sides here and how, now after the outrage that we have seen, the ICC chief is, as Professor Das is telling us, considering changing the wording of the circular. But, something like this came out at a time when we want to educate the students about the issue of sexual harassment. Isn't it only telling us that how, it's deep-rooted and it probably requires a big reform in the society so that this mindset changes? We may talk about women empowerment, we may talk about a lot of issues and the achievements by women, but unless the mindset changes, nothing is really going to change. And today it's only because of the outrage that we can now expect, as Professor Das is telling us, that maybe wordings may be changed.
I'll tell you this, Hina. There will be people in the drafting committee, whoever drafted that circular, they will actually be genuinely surprised by the outrage that this has caused. And as Mr. Govardhan Das very delicately put it, it could have been better worded, and now they will change a little bit of the wording. But frankly speaking, the circular has so many different points which all reek of misogyny. Actually, it's not even misogyny, it's worse than that. It is a complete lack of understanding of what goes on in young adults' minds, what goes on with young people. It's kind of scary to think that this is the kind of supervisory body that JNU has, if this is, going by the circular they've put out. Because usually in a circular discussing sexual harassment, usually in any initiative discussing sexual harassment, as a legal person, I would expect some concrete points to be listed out. While the points to be listed out are more of an advisory nature here, and let's not forget that the advice is only directed towards the women, because boys will cross the line, but women have to draw the line. That is clear according to this circular. But other than that, advisory is not what we expect. There is one line, if you see it, the concluding paragraph starts with, the university has zero tolerance towards sexual harassment and will not tolerate it in any form. But what it should have said, or at least what I would have expected it to say, would be it would not be tolerated from any person of any gender in any form, and then have a clear list of what will not be tolerated, or at least say there is an addendum to this circular where we clearly list what will already be stated misdemeanors. There should be a paragraph that lists out
And
investigations, trials, and the consequences, the actions that will be taken, the penalties that will be levied. None of that has been listed. It is just one circular that seems to have been
Mr. Amit
drafted.
Deshpande, it also lists out the benefits of these sessions. The university says the number of sexual harassment cases will be reduced for sure. That's a declaration also mentioned in this particular circular.
So
Last comments.
Yeah, very. I think it's just an optic job, some kind of feel-good job for the university is what they meant, but it went wrong.
Amit.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Amit,
See,
last comments, please.
As I said, the messaging could have been better, from whatever I have seen on the circular. But then I don't see it to be like the way it is being made. Like if let us say men are being told now that you have to be careful when you are in the vicinity of women for not being mistaken or not being misunderstood. Like I'll give you an example. If I go on a Zoom call with any colleague of mine and I see her, I mean, she's a very good colleague. I see her tired face. And if I say that, inadvertently, okay, you look tired. it could be construed as a sexual harassment. And there have been cases in India about that. So men have always, right now, when the law is in such situation, in this form, men have to be extremely careful. And we have seen that in the corporate atmosphere, wherever sexual harassment,
So if
cases
you
have come in.
believe that men
I think
also
that
have
the
to be extremely
overall culture has
careful,
gone down.
then,
I mean,
that is the
the
reason why we are asking this question, that why do we have teachings only for women, and, why do we really distinguish between men and women when it comes to a circular like this, when it is about educating the people about sexual harassment? And I think all of you agree to at least one point. Amit, I got your point, and I believe all of you agree to at least one point, and all four of you have agreed that, the wordings could have been better. We'll see what the JNU ICC does now. Professor Das has assured us that the wordings are going to be changed. So hopefully this circular will be now taken back. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us here on Urban Debate. Heading into another short break.